The stock market, meaning companies, new highs.
I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on. Nuts. They're nuts. They know nothing.
An online network called Internet.
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
Welcome, ladies, my degenerates. The rest of your life starts right now on Market Mania. No bullshit approach to all financial markets with Bitcoin and darknets and NFTs and political betting and the largest casino in the world, the U.S. stock market. Today on Market Mania, the DoJ seizes the BITFINEX hacked Bitcoins. 6 years ago, that happened and they got him. Google is killing it. Oh boy, Joe Rogan. Ooh, baby. That's heating up big time. And Pixelymon, I don't know, raises 300 million and then the pick of the day. Lead story today, though. I mean, we're going spelunking into this one because we gotta strap in because this is crazy. The DOJ, if anybody remembers the BitFinex hack, it's hard to get all your exchange hacks in order. If you've been in this game as long as I have, everybody remembers the Gox hack. That's the hack to me still. But the Quadriga, the guy that showed up half dead in India or maybe full dead. And then, there's so many hacks, so many exchange hacks. This one was potentially the biggest, depending on how you want to score it. I mean, Gox was the biggest, but this one, 71 million at the time of the hack in 16. Shout to Maddie, who was anyway in the BitFinex thing, and then it's happened in 16. Since then, Whale Alert, some other Twitter accounts, a couple other deep blockchain analysis type things have been watching these coins because you know who stole it, you know the address that stole. And so everyone's been watching these coins for 6 years. So every now and then, a couple of them move, but not big. Then last week, I think, I believe it was a Whale Alert that went off that the BitFinex hack coins, 3+ billion worth, all of a sudden moved. Usually, obviously, whoever did it, they were moving small amounts. They were trying to scoop it. And then now we sort of know that who it was. What are those names? I can't read that. Can anybody read those names?
It's blurry. I mean, FBI type stuff, or you mean the actual the hackers' names?
The people that did that shit. The people that are
Lichtenstein and Heather Morgan, his wife. It's a husband-wife team.
So they apparently, according to this U.S. District Court filing by the DOJ, they are accused of jacking BitFinex for 71 milli back in the day, which is ballooned, if they would have held it all, to 4.5 B, 120,000-ish Bitcoins. So this is a big one. This actually does rival Gox in size. I think Gox in size was like 500,000, 700,000 BTCs, but a lot earlier, a whole lot earlier. And
so, guys, isn't this bad for the price of Bitcoin now that the DOJ has it?
I don't think so. It's not a material amount compared to the
$3 or $4 billion worth is not a material amount to sell. I mean, what if they decide they're going to sell it over the next 6 months?
I mean,
no change.
So who knows what they're going to do?
It wouldn't change the price of Bitcoin.
I don't think it matters that much.
So you can't. I mean, market selling across every exchange. You could tank.
No, I'm not saying they're going to market. Let's say they're going to sell. I don't know. Let's say they're going to sell 50 million a day for the next few months until they.
No problem.
They'll sell it all.
Volumes are massive.
No, okay.
Volumes are massive. Bitcoin crosses $1 trillion valuation when it hits. What is it? What is it, Brett? It's
I don't really like Bitcoin, but it's fine. I don't pay attention.
When Bitcoin's 50K, then there's like $1 trillion implied valuation or so, 20 million, 20 of the 21 million coins, yada yada, they're still being generated. But but it's somewhere around $1 trillion there. So 3 billion worth of it. I mean, 21 million total coins, 100,000 of them. I mean, that's a significant.
If you want a bull scenario, what if this time around a bull scenario for Bitcoin? What if this time around the government says, you know what? We're going to keep it in Bitcoin, right? Like that's
crazy.
In play.
That's not going to happen.
No,
our government is not. Our old fogey government, run by 75-year-old plus people, are never going to say that at this point.
That's
a
probably
Could be
Hail
down the
Mary.
road, but right now they're going to be
Yeah.
selling it.
Contrary
They want that
Richie over
cash.
there pulls out the sexiest bull case I've ever heard of from the Bitfinex.
I think the Trump administration, you're drawing somewhat live, still mostly dead. Biden, it's totally dead. He loves, his unions and banks.
Amazing.
And any sort of corrupt institutional power that he can grasp onto, he's going to.
I mean, you got to wonder, that's a hell of a lot to get. It's just like, if anybody remembers Draper, who bought the Gox coins back in the day.
That was genius.
And obviously the U.S. could have just jumped ahead there.
He bid like 15% over spot to win the auction, because he's like, if this is a thing, it doesn't matter if I overpay now. I get a huge position.
It's one of the most brilliant moves now that I look back at it. I think there was a handful of tranches, and he won like 3 out of the 4 tranches or something. They were in like 25K. It was very difficult to acquire Bitcoin on spot exchanges. There was no Coinbase when he made that move. There was no you don't just you log on and click buy. No. It was hard to get Bitcoin in size. And 15% over spot, genius motherfucking move. I mean, genius move. He built a similar size position. It's $1 billion position now, right?
So anyway, these guys are fucked though. I mean, they're probably facing 10 years or whatever. Like I assume stealing this amount of money. Bitfinex is a San Francisco company also. Was it a US company? I don't know if that matters. But they're
I want to say Hong Kong for Bitfinex, but I'm not sure.
They might have had like dual offices. I don't know where they're incorporated, but I'm pretty sure they had like operations in San Francisco at some point. They might have left the US just because it's an exchange.
It sounds familiar too. It sounds like they did have a U.S. footprint, if I recall. Just from back in the day, but not material. Yeah, and that's addition. Yeah, those people are fucked. If they did it, I assume they did it. I mean, it's hard to. It's so weird that we just.
They've got the keys in the guy's Google Docs folder. So,
but
and he's a cloud security expert or some shit too. But
is he really?
They found the keys in his cloud. So I don't know how you explain that if you didn't do it, but
that's weird to me. I read this Zero Hedge article just real quick right before the show started, and because this information came out very, very recently, and I that part jumped out at me too, Brett, where it said they got some warrant, some affidavit, whatever. They get the guy's account, and then they said they just found the private keys to like fucking 94,000 Bitcoins in there.
Yeah.
Did you want to go you want to go two of 3 on that or something? You want to go maybe not just private key right into the into the Dropbox? I mean, that seems reckless right there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess if you stole it, you're kind of free rolling, but yeah.
No, but someone else. I don't know. It just seems weird to me. I don't know. The whole thing seems real strange to me because those coins are watched forever and
that's like a problem. It's like, oh wow, now I'm a billionaire, but then how much did he get out? How much looking over his shoulder were they doing? Now you're facing like a severe prison sentence.
First purchase with that money is just a fucking just a intravenous drip of Xanax for like the next rest of your life because you're just going to be
All right. Google and Alphabet are killing it. Matt, you want to tell us about this?
No, he doesn't.
He's
want to
frozen
tell us about this. He said, "Fuck you." He said,
I think we might have lost Matt here. We'll try and get him reconnected here in a bit. But
Matt froze.
I'd like him to talk about Google. So until we get him back, let's talk about. Oh, my head's in the way. Let's talk about my pick of the day, my not so humble brag here about my pick of the day. When I was hosting last Tuesday, I picked a little stock called, pull it up here, CFVI. Now, this was the SPAC that was owning Rumble. And at the time, I was saying this might be fun to pick up because it's cheap right now. And they're going to try and take on YouTube. There's a lot of growth potential there. And not 2 days later, Matt's getting at me here. Not 2 days later, this whole thing with the Rumble CEO and Joe Rogan happens, where Rogan gets caught, saying a lot of naughty words. I think we have some footage of him trying to avoid saying that here. So what sorry, I got Matt talking to me here too. So Joe Rogan got in some trouble on Spotify. Of course, everybody heard about that. He was asked to apologize. The CEO from Rumble said, "Hey, Joe Rogan, come over to our side. We won't kick you off." And the end result was the stock CFVI taking off. But I guess my question to you guys is, this is a news-based run on that price of that stock. Would it have any legs after that point? I mean, do you see any further upside on this, or was this pretty much the peak and will probably go down?
What kind of market cap are we dealing with here? Do you have any idea?
There we go. There we go.
Volume 93,194 there. So was that 93 million?
I mean, if they've got 100 million
market cap
in investment or whatever to offer to Joe Rogan. Now, again, you don't know how real that is, right? Because it's so unlikely that he would accept, that you can kind of just say it for the news headlines. And then if he does accept, it's like, oh no, now we got to figure it out, right? You can raise the capital for Joe Rogan if he were to take the deal. So they may not have that much capital. Yeah, I think like if you look at Spotify or Twitter or like Facebook or any of these mainstream companies, they all basically have the same ideological view, hey Matt, as the the mainstream Democratic Party, and like you can basically say spread whatever misinformation you want as long as it's kind of approved by the Democratic Party on those platforms. Do that to your heart's content. The minute you stray outside that box, there's this crackdown, and like a lot of people are getting sick of this administration and the sort of like policing speech. So can they get the network effect to get people off of Spotify, to get people off of Twitter? Like I think I get the demand for it, but it's a hard sell. But the upside's massive if you do pull it off, right? If you can pull viewers from YouTube or Spotify and have this platform where like everyone is free to participate without their speech being policed. Yeah, I see the upside case, but it's risky.
I mean, that's a fun gamble. Like, you don't know Rumble. I mean, that's crazy that was your pick when you hosted.
That's a
Tony,
sick pick, Tony.
Like,
yeah.
Thank you.
Just like any new app. I mean, like, guys, this is a massive gamble right now. This goes to zero lots and lots and lots of times that you run it here. And you just can never break in with YouTube and every other streaming platform and whatever. Like, you just never find a spot, or like it obviously moons like once in a not many times that it runs. But when it does get there, and obviously that shot at Joe Rogan, I mean, obviously that's just not. I mean,
well, like Howard Stern has way worse footage, right? But because he's a diehard
to Rumble
liberal, it's fine, right? He's facing no consequences, so it's all political.
Howard Stern did blackface back in the day, and honestly,
and dropping the N-word, but like that's okay because he's a liberal.
It is okay. Like, if you're just trying like comedy and you're willing to push edges and like you say like one word, then all of a sudden if you say that word, then you're a racist.
You're going robot Mike on.
So one thing we did unearth here was Joe Rogan in therapy for some of his past transgressions. Let's see if he can pull it off here.
Don't say it. No, don't say it. No.
Okay, so he's working
That's
on
funny.
it. But well, I think I personally think the stock probably go down a little bit from here. But I'm gonna get out of here. Let's move on.
So let me just chirp in on this one thing. Let me just chirp in on this one thing with Joe Rogan and anybody else in these situations. We just gotta forget the past when it's 10 years plus, whatever, 5 years plus. Unless there was malintention, unless there was bad intentions, you got to forget. It was a different time, a different past. And if they probably didn't have any bad intentions at the time, I'm sure Joe Rogan didn't. But unless they had bad intentions 10 years ago, let's just forget about what they did 10 years ago.
Fucking Neil Young, by the way, from keep on rocking in the free world to like, I want the government to police my enemies. You fucking pussy.
Yeah.
This thing, if you purity test your entertainers, you're not going to have much entertainment.
All right, Matt, we got to hear about Google and Alphabet.
Oh, real quick. So Google last week, everyone knows it had earnings, 30-for-1 split. The stock's like $2,800. I just wanted to point out to some of our viewers like to invest, and well, we don't talk too much about investing in the market. We talk mostly about gambling. This is actually a very intriguing investment. So for the fourth quarter, this past quarter, they had a $75 billion in revenue. Okay. 75 billion, not million, 75 billion. This company's about a 1.8, 1.9 trillion in market cap. That revenue figure is 32% year over year, which is insane at that amount, 75 billion. Their operating margin is over 30%. YouTube's growing 25%. The cloud's growing 45%. The numbers are insane. And you used to hear a lot about P's in the market, price to earnings ratios. Google right now is at a 25 PE with basically a 30% growth rate. So they're going to be at 17 PE in a year if they continue this growth rate. And there's no reason to think that they're not. No one's really competing with Google in any of the areas except cloud, where Amazon and some of the other ones are competing. But Google's just crushing the competition in all assets, all facets of their business. So it's like the cheapest stock, the least risky stock out there. And even though we might be in a bear market, might be headed to a bear market with interest rates going up, if you want a safe bet and you want to still be in tech, Google is definitely the safest play in my opinion.
You're tailing Pelosi too. She just bought a bunch of call.
Oh yeah, she knows. There you go. You can't go wrong then.
So. I mean, that's like double. I think it was Google and Amazon. She just deep in the money calls and by the millions.
Google's way safer than Amazon and much cheaper from a price to earnings aspect.
Thank you for that, Matt Glantz. For all you value investors out there that just turn the show on just so they can feel a little something each day. What is this? Who's raising? Is this a Brett story?
Pixelmon.
Yeah, Pixelmon.
What the hell is that?
Headline sums it up. Metaverse that doesn't exist yet bagged 70 million in Ethereum. They did a reverse Dutch auction, which is occasionally popular, typically with really hyped up projects. They sold out at 3 ETH each, 10,000 pieces. So they raised 30,000 ETH, approximately $70 million worth. It's just total dust. It's all marketing, and the thing is, I had multiple normie friends hit me up about this thing, and I've been in the space. This was so obviously a stay away for me, but a lot of people don't realize that. They see the hype. They see, they have 200,000 Twitter followers. Okay, that's fake. There's no project that comes out of nowhere pre-launch in NFT land and has 200,000 followers. That's not possibly real. Mechaverse, we saw that when they did their sale. Their Discord capped out at 250,000 people in there. There weren't even 250,000 people trading NFTs in the entire space at that time. And again, Mechaverse was still going for 8 ETH. Now it's 1. This thing was 3 yesterday. People are already taking 67% losses on these things just to get them out of their wallet. They're promising, now that we have 70 million, now we can build a game. Okay. Games are really hard. Every project in NFTs now is promising a game and metaverse integration and all these things that are extremely challenging to do. Games in the real world are expensive, okay? They don't come with all the other complexities of NFTs and underlying blockchains. And these are random people. This isn't even a team that has some experience. This is just, you're just giving money to some random kids saying, yeah, we're going to turn this into a game. Good luck with that. Run for the hills. This thing is total dust.
Wow. Skeptic Richie. I like it. You don't hear Skeptic Richie in that space too often.
I love it.
Yeah,
love it.
It's a go. You said something that was really awesome when you said my 3 normie friends, that had probably never aped into an NFT in their life, decided this one is what they hit you up about. This is a phenomenon I call the GoPro Karma drone phenomenon. Now, a lot of you may realize that I worked for Crazy Mike at a retail drone store for a period in my life, about 5-6 years ago. And we had customers. The GoPro Karma drone never launched. And when it did, it was awful and it broke. And there was very few pieces out there ever. But they did this awesome marketing something on their social channels. There's this fucking video went viral of everybody on the GoPro. It's the Karma. We had people just come in all the time. Hey, where's the Karma drone? You're like, actually, that doesn't exist. Nope, never existed. Nowhere does it. Nope, they never made one. No, nowhere. Nobody has it. Nope, not Best Buy, not us, nobody. Not the internet. Yep, I know you looked everywhere. Doesn't exist. And we got just one a day. 1 out of every 10 would come into the drone store and ask for the Karma GoPro drone. And this is the same thing over and over with NFT. That's how you know something is awful. Brett, I love what you're doing. You're saving them. You're saving the dogs.
I mean,
thank you.
Again, like I don't mind gambling on stuff, but I'm not playing 3 ETH. You know, we'll get to it on my pick of the day. Is also hopefully building a game. Okay, but it's 0.08.
This guy bet 6 figures on a soccer match, ladies and gentlemen. He does not mind gambling.
That's valid.
Yeah. Can we get Crazy Mike on the show this week on Thursday? Maybe
we can probably.
You know, back in November in Vegas during the World Series, me and Crazy Mike had a cartel going with private games at the resorts, as you know. Well, both of you guys know well.
Well, Matt froze again,
and away he goes. So with that,
we'll give his pick out.
Transitions that you guys are so used to here on Market Mania. We seamlessly now transition to the pick of the day.
Drop it like it's hot. Everybody stack. I'm stacking to the top.
Guy named Tony, the producer, makes that happen. There's no way I could do it, Brett.
Oh, Matt's back.
Find Matt. Oh, he's back, baby. He's back.
And in case that didn't show up, his pick's Google, safest stock in the market as far as Matt is concerned.
Matt Glantz goes with Google. And Brett Ritchie, what do you go with for your pick of the day?
I'm heading over to Pyland for my pick of the day. This is an upcoming mint. It is on the 10th, which is, I guess, Thursday, it appears. And these are octopus pies. And they look good. I like the art on it, and it's 0.088 ETH. You know, so a few $100 for there's 10,300 of them. This is the reason I like it. The team is legit people. The engineer built Live Token, which is a useful Top Shot website. So like they have experience actually shipping a product people want to use. The El Dumbo, you know, pretty well-known influencer in this space, and so they look cool. Again, a lot of these promises of like we're going to build a game or like things like that.
Brilliant.
A lot of it's total nonsense. But in this situation, you at least have a team that, in my opinion, is raising a reasonable amount of money, not something ridiculous for what they're building.
What could go wrong?
A lot could go wrong.
No, they're octopuses. They have to succeed.
And pies in one. So it's all right. It's a lock. It's the kind of bet I like to make. Okay, it's a real team with a track record of actually like shipping. So I
it seems like
5 minutes.
5 years from now, these things will be worth a lot of money. I'm sure
they could be. They very well could be.
I agree. Yeah, how could they not be?
It's a lot. No, most of the time these are going to zero. You know, some percent of the time. You know, I'm gonna be telling Matt.
People are starving in Africa, and then you think these octopus pies are going to be worth thousands of dollars in 5 years from now. That's funny. That's great.
These pies are dope. I'm getting more bullish now listening to Matt fund these things.
I'm serious. I think that we really need to take inventory of where we are in the world right now when the pick of the day is an octopus cartoon. Matt Glantz can't fucking breathe over there because I'm a fucking frog picture salesman now. I mean, like, just what is going on? I mean, it's good to just revel in a moment like this. You know, and to be fair, Brett's probably going to win. He's got
Tony,
a great
make sure we have a lot of disclaimers on these shows. Whew.
Yeah, that minting.
I just said I think I like it. It's a good bet. You know, it's high risk.
Minting Ethereum octopuses are not financial
they're octopus
advice.
Pies,
because how the fuck could
it's
that
half
be
octopus? The bottom, it's like a centaur. The bottom half is octopus. The top half is pie.
That doesn't even make sense.
It does make sense. Their heads are pies. If you look at their head, the head is a pie.
The head is a pie?
Look at the head.
Bacon.
Those are pies.
It's great.
The head is a pie. The body is an octopus.
That's just great.
I'm deep in this shit. It's amazing. All right. Well, that is fucking fantastic. Are you allowed to say that on the show? I don't even know. But that's fantastic. That's how we're gonna end this one today. Because I mean, I don't know. What a great pick. Well, I don't know. What's my pick? Is it Matterport? What did I pick? I don't even remember what I picked. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna.
I know Matterport's 8.25 right now, 8.25, and they announced some new technology today. Maybe that's your pick.
That's great.
That's a great pick.
My pick. I like the data.
Digitizing the real estate of the world.
Your pick was Go EV,
My
Mike.
pick-
We'll see how it goes.
That's fair. Thank you, Tony. That's really great that you put up with us. It's great. It's great.
Do you have some words of wisdom for us on the way out there, Mike?
I do. I'm going to load up some words of wisdom here. I'd be lying if I told you that I had it in the can ready to go like I do most days. But we're gonna go with the throwing old school with the band 112 and one of my buddy Ray's favorite, Peaches and Cream.
Oh, I love that song.
And it,
one
I'm
of my
glad.
favorites off is actually.
Yeah, he's gonna okay. The hook goes a little something like this: Peaches and Cream. I need it because you know that I'm a fiend. Getting freaky in my Bentley limousine. It's even better when it's with ice cream. Know what I mean? Peaches and Cream. Join us join us next time, whenever it happens. I believe Thursday is best guess. And we will see you that time, if we do it that time. But for now, it's lights out.
I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have. I never sleep. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. Time to right the wrong, so your hands in the air if you like the song. If you're going over there, take it twice as long. Last time ain't talking about Tylenol. Oh, I bet you'd like to know. You can come around the way if you're trying to go. If you want to switch lanes for a pot of gold or a domino, out of control. The usual, get mad cause I'm looking at your girl. Switch it up. I do it so much louder than everything you've heard. Everybody heard, got the word that the world wasn't turning. Act like you're in a jury of how we're turning, where how we're turning. Can't lie like it's Mississippi burning. Don't act like you're in a daze. I imagine should've looked the other way. Couldn't clear space on my mind, was afraid of the time. Strobe lights like in the moonlight. I'm in the mood right now, how about tonight? My interview's tight now, I was